By the title, I'm sure you guys can tell this is not a video that I'm excited to make for you guys right now, but it's part of being transparent and it's part of my journey. And I would say today was a significant day in the journey. Definitely a significant day trading live funds because this is like my real first actual tilt day on live funds. So in this video, I'm gonna break down all the trades that I took today. If you couldn't see already, here's my P&L, negative 1566 with the fees. And here are my entries today. I've just finished reviewing everything myself, and now I'm going to explain to you guys the mindset behind all of these trades. That a lot of them I shouldn't have taken. A few of them had red flags telling me very clearly not to take them. Yeah, it was definitely a really weird day. I felt like I just definitely wasn't myself. I was not locked in how I was supposed to be locked in. And honestly, I did not come to the session with the mindset of I'm going to trade with good habits and focus on sticking to my rules, my strategy and everything. I think that in the back of my head I was kind of excited to trade. And any day that I approach the market and I'm ready to trade, I feel like it causes me to really subconsciously have the intention to trade, which then leads me to put on low quality entries, have terrible habits. Yeah, so in this video, I'm gonna break down everything that happened today. And I really want you guys to be able to take my setback and learn from it, because there are definitely a lot of lessons you can take away from just this session alone. So I'm gonna replay the live recording for you guys. I'm going to try to go through this quickly while also being thorough with my reasoning. But before we get into that, if you guys like these recap videos, give me a like, subscribe. I do these so you guys can have your journey sped up a little faster by using my errors or by using things that I do that are good. And then also, if you want to connect with order flow traders, hit the link in my description. Before I get into it, let me tell you guys what my plan was for the day. So my plan was, I was using 5950 as my key level, and that lined up with the overnight low, which that was right around 5947, and then the London session low was right around 5955. Pre-market, we were trading up around the 5990s, 80s. So my plan was to wait for a pullback that was either above or at the 5950 area, look for buying and play long. That was my plan. So that was what I went into the session planning to do, and that is not what I did. All right, so my first entry is at 849. I'm gonna scroll ahead to that, and I will tell you the problem with this entry off rip. So we had data at 845 and we had more data at 9. So my plan originally was to not take any trades until after 9 a.m. Central Time. We sold off from the open. I have this buying come in right here, and this, I guess, piqued my interest for a long entry. In hindsight, this buying is not very significant at all. You can see by the CVD, we are creating a bearish CVD divergence, and on top of that, this entry was not aligned with my plan. All right, so this is moments after I took the entry. My mindset at this moment was, I saw this buying here, which in hindsight is not significant, and it's also right before data. So anyway, my trade thesis was I was using these buyers and I wanted to see essentially like a rebid type of thing where more buying comes in as we test these lower prices. And I believe what I was really eyeing was this lower volume area right here. And it's actually funny because you'll see I entered and then we literally get swept 10 seconds after I enter, and the slippage on that caused me to stop out for 4.8 points, which is a whole point over my normal risk. That sucked, but that was the first entry. And then my second entry isn't till 9:02. But before I go there, I want to show you guys what I did notice when I replayed this. This actually is a really good short entry that's about to set up here. And so whenever you get a sweep like that, it's kind of like, the way I look at it, it's kind of like finding like diamonds in Minecraft or some shit. Like, it's kind of a more rare activity, and you can use it because you'll see we create this low volume area after we build volume right here. So you'll see we build volume a little bit, And you can see how price doesn't like trading in this area. We come into it, we immediately leave, and you'll see here we came into it and we immediately left. So this is another one of those things where it's like these are the type of entries that are part of my strategy. You look for the sweep, you find the low volume area, you take the entry if we come up into the low volume area and price does not like trading there. So in hindsight, there was a pretty good short entry. Stop loss would have been right above this high. So it would have offered me a really good risk to reward trade. And you're going to see this thing sell off like 30 points. So that was kind of it was almost like unfortunate that the sweep happened 10 seconds after I entered, but it was just not a trade that I deserved to win anyway because it was technically against my plan and the buying was not significant enough for me to want to see it support something or to like follow the buyer. So that was the first entry. The second entry is at 902 and I took a short because as you can see 5950, which was my key level for today, clearly gets destroyed. We come all the way down to 30. And here is another trade that this one actually has a blatant red flag for me to not enter, but I entered it anyway. So this is right before I'm about to enter. And you can see this very large bubble right here, which represents aggressive selling. So you can see this aggressive selling was not able to move the market. And I took a short right at the price where it happened at. So this was like, I just completely looked over this in the moment. It's tough to watch myself now take a short after this happens. And then on top of that, take a short after we just sell off like quite literally 40 points or maybe even 50, 60 points from the open. That's just not using my brain. I stop out in 30 seconds. I immediately re-enter at 9:03. I'm kind of skipping ahead here by accident. So I stop out of that first entry and then I immediately get short again. All right, so I'm kind of like skipping too far ahead because these entries happen so quick and this slider is not really allowing me to get to the place I want to get to. But long story short, what happened in this area was I took two short entries that stopped out within 30 seconds, both of them. And that was really lacking a thesis and also had this big blatant red flag right in my face. So two garbage entries, and that would have been three already for the day by 9:04. All right, so we are about to be at my fourth entry of the day, which one, this is where my rules are officially broken for the day because I normally allow myself three full losses and I have to walk away. But today, I really think I broke that rule because all three of my trades stopped out in like 10 to 20, 30 seconds as soon as I entered them. So it almost, to me, it felt like I didn't even take them, but that's no excuse at all. So the reason why I get long here is because we have a lot of selling delta coming in and it seems like sellers are being absorbed. Also, while this is happening, 5950 breaks and my plan is to get long above 5950. So my entry, you can see it 5949. I have a full 4-point stop. And as I'm watching this, I don't even know what my invalidation point would have been on this trade. And that's a red flag alone. So yeah, the whole reason behind this trade was literally because we crossed 5950. What I saw was I kind of get intrigued by this little move right here where price dips down and then immediately you can see some buying delta right here, and that is why I took it long. So that obviously stops out. My fifth entry is at 912, just another impulsive entry that is terrible. And what I'm really basing it off of is this whole idea that 950 we're trading above it. So my stop loss on this one was really, I think, this area 5950, and I really believe that I was using this delta right here as my invalidation point on this trade. So the thesis was definitely weak because what I should have been using was where these buyers initiated at, which is all the way down here at the 5940 area. And then I have another long at 914. That's 2 minutes later. So I have another long that I'm about to take at 914, and you guys are going to see me get stopped out in 20 seconds once again. I think my stop loss was a full 4-point stop, which was, I was trying to make these buyers my invalidation point. And once again, this trade's just against my plan because we're trading below 5950. So I don't have a reason to get long really, but you just saw me get stopped out in 20 seconds right there. And then at this point, I flipped to wanting to see a short for some reason. That happens at 9:18. And as you can tell by this review already, this day is just like the worst trading I have done in the last, I don't know, month. I guess since I've been back trading, since I got my new computer, this is easily the worst trading I've done. So here I'm just like, this is a full on chasing revenge trade. Like my P&L is down like roughly 1,000 or maybe 1,200 at this point. And I'm like, all right, I just need to get one win. In my brain, this is what happened. I just took a short at 41. I have no reason to back this idea up at all. In fact, you can actually see some significant selling right here that kind of failed to move price down. And honestly, like this is another area where I should have just taken a long off of it and called this or below this my invalidation point. These orders at like 5,940. It's funny because right after that happens, we rally up like 20 points. But that was my second to last entry. Clear these orders at 5,956 area. I take my last entry of the day. It's long after we broke those orders. So I'm about to take my last entry. And this one was technically with my plan. So I get long and my invalidation point was definitely not at the right place at all, because if you ask me, the invalidation point for a long would be down where the move initiated. So probably down in the 44, 40 to 44 area is where I would like to invalidate a long. At this point, I took it and my stop was a full 4-point stop. I get into some profit here. And then what I was targeting was 5,971 and then 5,981, which was like the open. And then you can see I break even on this trade. And yeah, that was my whole day. Yeah, I know that review is probably really tough to watch. Definitely in hindsight for me. I feel like the whole last month I've been taking pretty good entries. I've definitely had issues with exits, but I would say for the most part, last month, my entries were pretty good. And today, just to like throw $1,500 out the live account, out the window like that, I guess no, I completely deserved it because I break my rules. That's what's bound to happen. This is why you have rules to prevent days like this from occurring. Like after that third loss, I should have said, my read on the market today is not right. Something's wrong. I need to just walk away and prevent myself from losing more money. But I think that the fact that all of my trades got stopped out like literally within 10 seconds, 20 seconds, I think that kind of messed with my I guess view on the market. But I don't know, today was a crash out day. I fucked up today. I hope you guys can take this day and say, wow, this is what happens when you break your rules. This is what happens whenever you take stupid entries. This is what happens when you trade against your plan. This is what happens when your stop loss isn't at invalidation points. Like a lot of errors happen today. And I'm taking responsibility. Do I have fun posting myself blowing 1,500 due to me acting like a dumbass? Like, no, I don't. Yeah, this is just part of the journey and that's just what happened today. So I'm gonna reflect on today. I'm gonna make sure that this doesn't happen ever again. If you guys like these videos, give me a like, give me a subscribe. If you're an order flow trader and you wanna connect with other order flow traders, hit the Discord in my description and I'll catch you guys in the next one.